casts in a row. He ate 2 baits. Hey everybody, Bassmaster Elite Series Pro, Lee Livesay here. We're going to talk about a technique that's going to help you a lot this winter. Man, when those fish get, when that water gets, you know, in the low 50s, 40s, 30s, depending on where you're at, there's one bait that's hard to beat and everybody knows what it is. It's an umbrella rig. These are actually Hog Farmer Bait Company A-rigs. He makes pretty much anything and everything, but I'm going to tell you just a general setup, where I throw it, how I throw it, and some baits and different little tips that I do for it. You know, most of the time down here in Texas, I throw rigs with blades on them. You know, this is just a 5-wire 4-blade rig right here. Sometimes I throw the double blades, sometimes I throw the harvester rigs, but just generic right here, this is a rig that I throw down here in Texas on Lake Forks, shallow and deep. You know, in the fall, kind of going into winter, I fish them deep. You know, I'm going to be using, you know, my 1/4 ounce, 1/2 ounce heads, you know, my net bait little spankies on there, just shad colored swim bait trailers. And then when I move into that winter time, you know, those fish are going to change, you know, depending on what lake you're at. You know, some of these lakes, like Fork, Ray Roberts, you saw the guys at OH Ivy kill them this year out deep. Some of your fish are going to go deep, but then you're going to have a group go shallow, and that's when I'm going to have a rig with, you know, these are 1/8 ounce heads on there. And you know, that's just to throw up, you know, maybe around some shallow bushes, a shallow tree at Lake Fork, outside grass line at Chickamauga or Guntersville, something like that. You know, you're going to want those lighter heads to throw up there shallower, but then at the same time, I'll take a harvester, you know, and put 1/2 ounce heads on them. And one cool tip I will talk about that I do is I'll take them in the middle wire right here. I'll put a Hog Farmer Hog Wobbler, which is a scrounger. It's got the scrounger head, and it'll ride right here in the middle. It'll keep everything kill. And I'll put a big swim bait on there, big net bait, big spanky, little spanky on the outside, and a big one in the middle. And that hog wobbler just gives it a little different action. That's a little tip to help you. What rod I throw it on? I pretty much throw all my rigs on one rod. It's a Halo HFX 711 extra heavy. You know, it's just a big long rod. You wanna have that leverage to make a long cast first of all, and then, you know, you're gonna put a lot of weight on there with all your baits and all your heads, so you just need that rod, a Halo HFX 711 extra heavy. You know, and I'm gonna throw that on the shallow rig and the deep rigs. Now when it comes to line, I throw 2 different lines. I'm either throwing 65-pound braid or I'm throwing 20-pound fluorocarbon. You know, one of the two. I've seen it where you needed the fluorocarbon, and then I've seen it times where it didn't matter. You know, especially if you're getting hung up a lot. That's what you see on this one. I have some really light wire heads. That's because I was throwing it around some trees or brush or something where I was getting hung up some, and I'd bend the wires out, you know. And if I'm not around that thick cover, then I'll throw that 20-pound fluorocarbon and be just fine, because I have seen it matter before. But that's just a great wintertime bait to catch the biggest fish on your lake, on your river, no matter if you're in Michigan, Florida, Texas, wherever. You know, try an Alabama rig, an A rig, an umbrella rig. You know, it's a great wintertime bait. Check them out.